And in typical Bitcoin style, we crashed $900, making the Doom Boys come back. And well, is this going to be the end of Bitcoin, or is something else going to be happening? Hello Adrian, and welcome back to my channel. It is 7:30 p.m. and UTC plus 8 is my time zone. Hope you are all doing well on this beautiful Wednesday. Yes, it is hump day. We are in the middle of the week. We are, well, hopefully hopefully going to be going towards a beautiful end of this week. We still have a couple of days to go, and well, like I've said in the intro, in typical dramatic fashion, Bitcoin dumps $900, and everybody is like panicking and screaming and this and that once again. So let's go into some technical analysis after, of course, I've said hello to all our viewers for tonight, the hardcore crew who are basically with me almost every day, I guess. Hi Darren, hi Jojit, hi Zaldi, hi Rachel, hi Laxman, hi Theodore, hi Lex. Hi Nikolai, hi Rob, hi Manding. Hope you are all doing well on this Wednesday as well. So let's move into the technical analysis. Let's go first very quickly over into what we've basically said yesterday, right? So yesterday there were two key things on the daily chart that we had to be watching. Was first of all, we wanted to make sure that we did not close the daily candle below the 10 simple moving average. As you can see, even with that huge dump towards the downside, we did not close below the 10 simple moving average, which is obviously a very positive thing. Now, of course, we are still not out of the danger zone. As you can see, we are now currently just barely staying above the 10 simple moving average. As you can see, 10 simple moving average is currently at 11,833, and we are hanging there by a thread. So tomorrow, if the 10 simple moving average gets broken, then yeah, that would obviously not be a good thing. And then of course the next support zone is, as you know, the EMA 21, as you can see here. But we would rather not prefer it to be tested again, because this is sort of like a test, considered as a test already of the EMA 21, because, well, if you test that EMA 21 too many times, of course at one point it is going to be breaking towards the downside. And we already did actually test it. Well, this is sort of a test. It's still a substantial amount of distance in between, but sort of a test. This is a test, as you can see, touched the EMA 21 perfectly. And this I consider sort of like a test as well, but you know. So that would mean 3 times already. So we would not want to be having that, of course, once again. But overall, like I said, technically the structure is still in on the daily time frame, still in perfect place. And I just wanted to show you guys why it is still in the perfect place. Hi Henry, welcome. So it's very simple. So we have our high here, right? This is our high. This is basically our low. This is our high. This is our higher low. This is our higher high. It's a little bit higher than this one, so it's our higher high. This is our higher low, as you can see. This is our higher high once again, and this is, well, currently our next higher low. So in terms of like structure, everything is still perfectly fine, right? We are still making higher highs and we're still making higher lows. So that means, what does that mean? That's still an uptrend, right? So that's basically what it means. But obviously what can happen is, and that's the reason why we have to be very careful that we don't break down from there. Well, where would we be breaking structure? Of course, when we would be making a lower low, right? So this is our higher low. If this would be going down and going below that higher low, then of course we will be making a lower low. And a lower low would be, of course, breaking our structure, because then we don't have an uptrend anymore. And where is our lower low? Well, you've guessed it, if we would be breaking the EMA 21 on the daily basis. So like I've said before, the structure is still in place, but the problem is we are, of course, are in danger in breaking the structure. So whatever happens, to have our continuing uptrend, what cannot happen, and You have to be very, very clear here. What cannot happen is a daily close below the EMA 21. If we close below the EMA 21 on a daily basis, we have a lower low, as you can see, and then we don't have a uptrend structure anymore on a daily basis. So hope you are very, very aware of that, and that's basically what I wanted to explain to you guys in a very, very simple. I think that's as simple as you can say, right? As you can explain things, right? But anyways, so two things that we have to be considering for tomorrow, and on terms of the daily, right? We want it, of course, one, closing above the 10 simple moving average. Closing below it is not necessarily a death note just yet, but it would definitely not be good in terms of like momentum and so on and so on. Closing below the EMA 21 would be creating a lower low, and that would be breaking our structure. Okay, so I hope that's very clear. I hope that's very, very, very clear for on the daily basis. Okay, let's move on into the shorter time frames, right? So what happened yesterday? Wanted to explain to you guys, because actually very, very a lot of things actually happened yesterday that we actually kind of explained, but yeah, sometimes it goes so fast that people that you have to basically go back a little bit and explain one more time what I wanted to tell you guys, right? So what did I tell you guys? We would most likely go back down towards the EMA 21, which is where I entered my long, by the way. So I entered my long at the EMA 21. The problem was we broke down and we closed below the green box. As you can see here, we closed the 4-hour candle below the green box. What does that mean? And I've told you guys already, that would mean stop your long, because very, very likely we will be moving back down towards the green box, towards the downside at around 11,700-ish area. But would that be breaking the structure? Of course not. And like I said, that's where I just basically re-entered my long position, because, well, as long as the uptrend structure on the daily basis and on the monthly basis and on the weekly basis is still holding, I am still looking for a long position, but I will just basically be adjusting my position. So of course I took loss, because I entered this position here and I lost quite a substantial amount of money, a little bit over $100 spread. For me, that is that is quite a substantial amount of money. So as you can see, nothing is perfect in technical analysis, right? So those are the risks that you have to be making. But if you are following, like I said, if you are following the clear rules, you will be minimizing your losses, and when you are correct, obviously you will be making profits, and in the long run, like I said, explained it before, in the long run you'll be making more profits, because you'll be right more times than times that you were wrong. So once again, the analysis yesterday, like I said, longing from this side. If the 4-hour candle closes below it, get out of your position, close your position, close your long, and yeah, that's basically what the rules that I was just following and then just executed, right? Okay, so I just wanted to be clear on that area. But of course, yeah, lost some money yesterday, which is never a good thing, or never a happy thing. Something happened to my chart here. 1 second. And why is it like that? Why I cannot do anything on my chart? I cannot edit on my chart. Why it stays black? Okay, it's back. Okay, weird. So anyways, those are the rules that you have to be making beforehand, and before that you do anything at all. So what now, right? So I entered again a long position into my green box here. Exactly the same rules you have to be using. So if the 4-hour candle closes below this green box, get out of your long. Yes, it's you're gonna be losing money, but that's better than losing a lot of money, right? Because very, very likely it will be moving down one more time towards the green box, towards the downside. At this point at the 11K, you have to be very, very careful, because at that point we would have been breaking structure, right? So we would have been breaking structure. So where would be my stop loss for today? One, just a wick below, just a wick below this this line here. I will put the magnet on so I can have the exact price. So a wick below this exact price here, which is currently at 11,605. So if price goes below 11,605, I will get out of my position that I'm in, and I'll be losing once again a little bit below $100. I think my average entry right now is 11,675 or something like that. So I would be once again losing like $75 or something like that. So that would not be a good 2 trades in a row. But like I said, those are just the risks that you have to be taking in terms of technical analysis, because well, I'm just following my simple rules of trading in a current uptrend, right? So closing below the green box, so below this area here, basically below 11,700, a 4-hour candle close below that, I would close my long position as well. So then of course I would be very likely have a little bit less loss than so on. But I just wanted to be very very clear. Those would be my stop losses, and those would be my my exit points, right? But okay, let's take a look on what is going on right now. So yesterday we sort of made a descending triangle, as you can see here. If we are making the measured move from this descending triangle, we basically made the full move already towards the downside, as you can see here. If you are making the measured move, it's somewhere around that area. Other than that, we can also see that we are still holding the trend line, as you can see, this one, the long trend line that we have been made since a really long time ago, right? So since, once again, we zoom out a little bit, since here. So this trend line has been holding since the 28th of July, as you can see. So as long as we are holding this this trend line, the structure is still intact, as you can see. So basically what happened is we broke out of the ascending triangle, made that move here, and then basically wicked back here, but still keeping our structure of our ascending triangle. But the correction is obviously deeper than what normal is, but it's still very you know, it's still no issues or anything like that in terms of like a global structure. Okay, so what can happen now is obviously what you want us to see right now is over the next 15 minutes, the key points that I want to be seeing is, of course, first of all, we need to be starting to close above the EMA 55, right? So currently the EMA 55 is at, as you can see here, 11,842. So we are once again barely above it. So that's basically what we are hoping for. We want it to be keeping the price above the EMA 55 and then slowly move our way back up, breaking out of this resistance line. Basically, we are forming a bigger triangle right now, breaking out of this resistance line, and then get our confirmation here once again. And then if we get that confirmation here, we'll be moving back up here where we have our previous resistance, and then most likely back to our 12,500, and then back to basically where we were before. So in the short term, okay, let me just delete all of that before anything. Apparently Control Z doesn't work. Lol. Okay, let's move back. Let's take it step by step once again. So, what we want to be what I wanted to say in the short term is the following. Okay, let's go from green box to green box. It's just level by level, really. So, if we close below the green box here, very likely we'll be breaking down, of course, towards the next green box, towards the downside. If we close above this green box here, very likely that we'll be going back before around the 13,300. There's a little bit of resistance there, but very likely that will be making continuation towards the 12,500. So basically, those are the areas that we want to be very careful and looking at. So let's see over the next basically over the next 4 to 8 hours, we want to be seeing that we don't break down from this area towards the downside, and we break up and out of this resistance trend line. Okay, so basically that's what we are looking for. So let's now go into some RSI or some momentum indicators, right? So as we can see right now here, if we are looking at the 4-hour, this is the trend line that we've been forming since in June, right? So as you can see, we are obviously breaking down below that line once again. So what we want to be seeing is, of course, that the RSI moves back above and breaks back through that RSI towards the upside. If we do something like this, where we get up and we get rejected once again, that would be obviously not very good. So that's the worst pattern that you want to be seeing if we want to see a recovery or a reversal. So that line is basically the 12K line. So the 12K line is now our big resistance, right? So if we are breaking the 12K line towards the upside, then things are back on track and nothing is going wrong. If we, of course, break down below the green box, I don't have to explain, that is the same thing, right? So let's take a look on the daily basis, right? So we've spoken about this RSI making a move out of this triangle here, right? Out of this falling wedge, and it broke down, and now it is actually moving back towards the downside. So what we actually can form is some sort of a pattern like this now, right? So it's more like a falling a channel that is going towards the downside, but you know, it's getting a little bit smaller, and usually those patterns, once again, those patterns break towards the upside. Probabilities are higher that we are breaking towards the upside rather than the downside, right? But obviously, as you can see, there's a lot of space to be going towards the downside as well, right? So that's not what we want to be seeing. We want to be seeing this curl basically back up and grind towards this upper side and then break towards the upside. That's basically what we want to be seeing on the daily RSI. But we will know very, very soon. Like I said, tomorrow, if we break and we close below the EMA 21, then it's really over. I mean, then we will be starting to be looking for shorting positions. But like I said, I just wait, and I'll just wait for confirmations and take it level by level, and definitely on the 4-hour, I think we can clearly see it very, 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 very pretty and easily, right? So what else did I wanted to say? Oh yeah, okay. So why am I overall still pretty bullish, right? Why am I overall still pretty bullish? Because, well, first of all, we did not break any big structure, right? So if we are looking on the big chart that I've made here, right? So as you can see here, so what basically happened is, I mean, this is basically what happened. This red is still where we're at. So what we did was, first of all, we broke out of this channel, right? So we made this channel, and we formed this high. So that's the breakout of this channel. And now we were basically going back into the median of the new channel that we are forming right now. So if I would be removing this channel, we can basically make a new channel on that upper trend as well, right? So it would be something like this. Okay. So yeah, so it would be something like this. So we are just basically back to our median or the bottom side, the bottom side of our parallel channel. Obviously, if we break down from it, it would break our structure, and yeah, as you can see, very, very likely we would be going back to, like I said, 10,500 as a bounce. But I don't think that will be the end. To be honest, if we start breaking the structure right now, let's make a quick measure move, and haven't done it basically here. We would be going back to 9.8K, right? So that would be the measured move towards the downside. So breaking the pattern that we're in, closing below the EMA 21, very likely will be breaking down towards 10.5, make a small bounce, and then go back down toward 9.8K. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. But like I said, overall, the structure is not broken just yet, right? So continue on to that, right? Let's take a look on the higher time frames, right? So if we are looking at the higher time frames, this is what the weekly looks like, and the weekly is still Stokes, and of course this is curling down a little bit, but as you can see here, it will cross down until 11,000 on the weekly. So we still have a lot of space. Let's take a look on the 3-day. 3-day is still, stokes are still okay, everything. And if we are looking on all the moving averages, as you can see here, everything is still, pointing towards the upside. So everything is still fine as well over there. On the RSI, as we can see here, a little bit of a problem. And where it's going to be crossing down at 11,680. So that's around that 11,500 600 area that the danger zone basically of breaking the box towards the downside. Let's take a look on the 2-day. What can we see there? The 2-day is as you can see here, we are touching the 10 simple moving average. But as you can see, still no break of the structure on the 2-day as well. We are still holding above the 10 simple moving average. But of course, like I said, if tomorrow we get a close below the on the daily, it will trigger like a domino effect. Let's start with the 4-hour. So if we would break this one, it would trigger over into the daily, and then it would obviously trigger into the 2-day, the 3-day, and the weekly as well, right? So. But overall, on the macro level, things are still looking quite okay. So no issues on the macro level just yet. Hi guys, you're a bit late. I'm almost done with my analysis, and then you're coming in. Anyways, welcome. Still welcome. Anyways, what else do I have to say? Yeah, and then let's take a look, obviously, on the traditional markets, right? So let's take a look on the traditional markets, and that's also one of the reasons why I'm still not bearish at all. And if we are looking on the traditional markets, well, this is on the 4-hour right now. The S&P, as you can see, is still super high and trying to be basically creating newer all-time highs, as you can see, still above the 10 simple moving average, still above the EMA 21, all the other averages on the 4-hour. This is not even on the daily or something, it's on the 4-hour. Very similar on Nasdaq, as you can see here. Yes, we are having a small pullback also on the Nasdaq, but still above all the 10 simple moving average, above the EMA 21, above the EMA 55, and so on and so on. So the traditional markets are still doing just fine. So there's no reversal or anything like that. Obviously, super important because of the correlation between the traditional markets and Bitcoin. Then, of course, we have the Dixie, right? The Dixie. So the Dixie, what happens is the Dixie did make a small jump, as you can see, towards the upside, and that's obviously not that great. But overall, as you can see, the divergence the divergence between the EMA 21 and the EMA 55 and the 10 simple moving average is getting stronger, meaning that the pressure is getting stronger and stronger towards the from the upside, towards the upside, right? So most likely it will get rejected once again later tonight, tomorrow, and then push towards the downside once again. So yeah, that would be obviously pretty good for the investment market as well, because the dollar is losing its strength and it's becoming literally it's becoming a shitcoin. Sorry, Ripple my nipple. I'm sorry to hear that, but you have to understand, I'm not a financial advisor, so you should actually not be listening to my finance. This is not financial advice. You should be blaming yourself, because your money is your own responsibility. Anyways, so yeah, that's basically what the whole time is, right? The whole analysis is all about. You took your profits. Very good. Looking for a re-entry on Ren. What is Ren? I have no idea what Ren is. But first, let's take a look on Link. So what I'm seeing on all the altcoins right now, right? So it's not only Link, it's also Band, it's also SX, not XXP, it's also Tezos, and so on. The ones that I'm looking at actually, Algo as well. some of the shitcoins. It's basically making this this downtrend that we're at, but at any time and point, it can actually break up towards the towards the upside. So that's basically what I'm waiting for right now for basically all the altcoins, to make that move towards the upside, and that's on Link. Well, yesterday I was hoping actually like I explained before, I was hoping that we would hit this 13.8, but yeah, I got a little bit. I think I got a little bit too greedy, but maybe it can still go back down there. Who knows? Maybe it can still go back down there, but I don't think it will. To be honest, it's making this nice reversal pattern right here, right now. So I think very likely it's going to be breaking up towards the upside, rather than the downside. So but I'm still waiting around this this green box here, but I don't think that that it will be hitting this area. I think this was the bottom for now, and like I said, everything is looking to be slowly going back up, and once it breaks this resistance, that's basically where I want to be entering my altcoins once again. But as you can see, it can still take a couple of days or something like that. So patience for the altcoins, for now at least, for me at least. Boom. What else do I want to say? Ren, yeah, that was it. Ren. Somebody was asking me about Ren. Let's take a look on Ren. Whoa, Ren is just not giving a fuck and just keeps on going. So it made that retracement back to the EMA 21 on the 4 hour, but not to the EMA 55. Let's take a look. Let's take a look on the daily chart. Yeah. Daily looks really still looks constructive. No bearish divergence just yet. So yeah, this looks like a little bit of more continuation, to be honest. A little bit of continuation. So I think you will have to be a little bit more patient. Who was the one that was asking me that question? Banwit, was it Banwit? Yeah, I think you will have to be a little bit more patient with this one. I would wait it out. But very likely continuation of the trend, to be honest. It looks like continuation, so I don't think this is the top just yet. I think it's gonna go make a little bit higher first before anything else. It's going down. So yeah. Do I go to India? No, I haven't been to India before. So yeah. So, yeah, Ren looks like continuation first. I think it's gonna go up first before anything else. So I don't think you will be able to enter, except if you want to be entering right now and scalp that small push towards the upside. But not recommended. Definitely not recommended in this market. I would just wait it out. But it hasn't. It looks like it hasn't topped just yet. It's still ongoing towards the top of the upside. Let's take a look on the Bitcoin dominance. Yeah, like I said yesterday, very likely that the Bitcoin dominance, because of the bullish divergence that we are forming here and this top here, it's moving towards the upside, as you can see. So the altcoins are, and that's the reason why the altcoins are having a little bit of problems and and issues. And as you can see, most likely, if we get a golden cross between the EMA 21 and the EMA 55 here, as you can see here, we get continuation of our trend, right? So be very careful. If we get that golden cross here, then momentum will be, Bitcoin dominance will be going up higher, and that's also the reason that I'm still bullish on Bitcoin as well, because all the profits from the altcoins are going to be flowing into Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance is going to be going up. Traditional markets are still not topped out, are still up. Dixie is still going down. So yeah, all of that still makes me think that we'll have another leg towards the upside rather than the downside on Bitcoin. But like I said, I just trade level by level. I don't really trade. I don't really trade anything else, right? I just go from green box to green box, pretty much. That's basically my way or my trading style. Anyways, so we have our close, and as you can see, we already have closed below, above the EMA 55. So over the next 4 hours, I want it. It will most likely be retesting the EMA 21 here, and then maybe get another rejection, and then something like this is basically what I want to be seeing over the next couple of days, and then we're back on track, baby. We're back on track, and we are going back to the moon. That's basically what I'm expecting, and I'm still thinking that that is going to be happen as in the highest probability. Okay, so talking about probabilities, let's take a look on the expected move charts to be seeing what the expected move charts are saying. So expected move charts are saying first standard deviation is, well, what do you know, 12,014, which is basically that critical area. Like I said, the 12K, if we manage to be closing a 4-hour candle close above the 12K price, very likely back to 12,300 and eventually 12,500 after. First standard deviation towards the downside is 11,691, and that's actually quite a relief for me, because if we do get back pushed back down towards 11,691, it would still not break the structure overall. So as you can see, sideways is what the expected moves charts are saying. So that's that. Other than that, the Stokes on the 12-hour are still curling towards the downside, which is obviously not good. So let's take a look on the 4-hour chart, because on the 4-hour chart, this is basically what I've drawn already. As you can see, this is the tops that we have been making on the 4-hour, and every time it got obviously pushed towards the downside. And right now, where we're at right now, if we are making this trend line that we have since the 25th of June, which is basically where we started our big movement towards the upside, right? Where we also had our retracement every time. This marks all the retracement spots as well perfectly, if you are following it on the price charts, by the way. And as you can see right now, it looks like it wants to be curling towards the upside. So that's also a confirmation of the trend to be picking back up and reversing back towards the upside. So over the next 4 hours, 8 hours, if you see the Stokes breaking this one and moving down even lower towards the downside, then our structure will be broken, of course. So but right now, of course, as you can see, probabilities are just a little bit higher that we are going to be reversing from here and going towards the upside, if the Stokes are going to be curling. The Stokes are going to be curling. And if we are looking at the RSI, exactly the same areas like we've talked before, the $12,000, as you can see, we need to be re-breaking the $12,000 to be going back up and crossing the EMA. So yeah, I think that's very, 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 very clear. And like I said, it's quite risk management wise, it's quite easy to be once again maintaining our position, right? So that's what I'll be looking at for Bitcoin. Like I said, in the next 4 to 8 hours, we'll basically find out what is going to happen. Either we break towards the upside out of this resistance, or we break down out of this spot here. And yeah, that will basically give you the indication for the next couple of weeks, the trend of Bitcoin. It would not be pretty if we go back to 9,800. It would be actually a little bit sad. It would be a little bit sad if we go back down there. But yeah, like I said, I don't really care as long as the move is correct and I can make some money on my short. I will short it. But yeah, I would prefer it to be going up, because right now the vibe and the atmosphere is a little bit more fun, and of course when the price keeps on going up, then people are just more joyful and more happy than when it's crashing or going back down. Yes, Tina, I still prefer, I will always prefer the number 1 over the number 2. It's just how it is. Henry, for all the altcoins, I would be waiting it out, to be honest. So like I've explained, I think yesterday I've told you guys yesterday already. This week is really not the week to be into altcoins or anything like that, because Bitcoin is gonna make big moves, and when Bitcoin is making big moves, it's not a smart idea to be into altcoins, not towards the upside and not towards the downside as well. I mean, if Bitcoin crashes, it will not be good for altcoins. If Bitcoin goes up really, really fast, it will not be good for altcoins as well. So this week, I would just, take a break, do the charts. Like I said, I am preparing because once Bitcoin has made that move and we stabilize once again, altcoins are going to rally up again together with Bitcoin as well. So that's the reason why why I'm making these charts of like Link and so on, because I'm preparing myself, but yeah, not in a position or anything like that. See, I'm just waiting for this to be breaking towards the upside. So if we break towards the upside, perfect to a spot to be entering a position. If we break this resistance towards the upside, perfect spot to be entering position. If we break this resistance towards the upside, perfect spot to be entering position. So I'm preparing myself, but I'm not going to take the risk to be doing anything at this moment and time, but I'm just preparing everything. Because yeah, like I said, I do expect this week for Bitcoin to have resolution of the trend on the macro level. So once we get more information after this week, then we can go back into fun times if Bitcoin keeps on going up. Other than that, we can also see on the volume, right? So I've told you guys, we will usually when the volume trickles down, then we always get a big move towards a big move. You cannot say in which direction, towards the up or the downside, one of the two ways. But as you can see here, volume has been tailing off, and at one point, I would say next 24th of August, very likely that we'll be making a jump towards the upside somewhere there. That would be around the 75% of that triangle that would be filled, right? So yeah. Oh yeah, sure. I can show you that chart with the COT, right? That's what you mean. Let's take a look. Where is it? Oh, here. This is currently what the COT chart is showing. So obviously, retail is hyped. Retail is hyped. They're just at home, locked down. They're not doing anything at all. As you can see here, professional traders kinda are getting back onto the train. Let's put it like that. They're like, oh shit, we're missing out on something. So it's curring a little bit back up towards the upside. Institutions have actually gone up as well, as you can see here over the past couple of days, weeks, to be honest. Here since the 3rd of August. Actually, they started since the 13th of July already. Took some profits here, as you can see, between end of July and beginning of August. They took some profits, but as you can see, still ongoing. And now they just took some profits the last day as well. So, that's why we got a little wick towards the downside as well. So yeah, I think overall, if we are looking at this, I think it's still positive, So overall, this is not good, right? Retail, a little bit too much retail FOMO right now. Professionals that are going back in is positive. Institutions that are coming back in is obviously super positive. This is actually the most important development, and the reason why I am actually still bullish on a macro level. Because the institutions seems to be coming back in, and since the beginning of Bitcoin, institutions have only been shorting. after the CME got involved. So after basically when we got the top to the top, 20,000. They all went down. They kept shorting from 20,000 down. So It's only very, very recently that the institutions have been starting to becoming more interested in buying Bitcoin or not shorting Bitcoin. So that, I think that's a very positive thing. Yes, Banwit, I also follow the greed index as well, but right now it's very little bit to be saying. It's quite neutral. It's at 54 right now. A couple of days ago, as you can see, we were at 76. So that was when things when things were a little bit on the extreme greedy side. And yeah, usually when there's too much greed, then you know what happens. Price does a little crash, and now it's back to neutral level. Well, this is 54 is basically neutral. So I think that's the positive side as well. So while the price is still, I mean, Bitcoin is still at close to $12,000, and people are actually neutral and not greedy, that gives it enough space to be going up a little bit higher, a leg higher, right? So that's the reason why I still think that we have another leg or a continuation towards the upside. Like I said, 14,000-ish area is where I still expect things to be going over the next month or something like that, and then other things might happen. But for now, like I said, I just follow it box by box, and if you're following the greed index, it's quite neutral right now, and I think that's actually very positive for the market because, well, neutral, and we're already, I mean, Bitcoin is at 12,000. I mean, do you remember a couple of months ago we were at basically at 3,500, right? So now it's at 12,000 and people are still not that greedy. I think that's a very positive thing, right? Anyways, so let's wrap it up. Yeah, I think I've said everything that I wanted to say. Warning points on the daily: breaking the 10 simple moving average. Completely super warning. Get out. Close below the EMA 21 on the daily. That would be very, very bad. Short term, we're just waiting for this to be resolving. Closing above the 12,000 here, this green box here, very likely continuation back towards 12.3 and then eventually 12.5 with a small stop at 12.3 because there's some resistance there. Breaking below this green box here or wicking down below 11,605. Very, very, very bad. Very, 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 very bad. And most likely we would be seeing price going down towards the lower 11,000s or this green box here, around 11,050, 11,100 once again. And that would actually break our structure if we confirm it on a daily basis, right? So be very, very careful. So yeah, in a position, in a long, hopefully I don't get stopped out once again. Or else it's going to be 2 in a row. But yeah, we got our stop losses installed. We got everything ready, so we're not going to get wrecked. But other than that, yeah, let's see what happens over the next couple of days. We will find, well, it's not going to take a couple of days. This one, yeah, maybe 2 days. So let me take a look on the HVP if we can see something there. If the HVP is very low, yeah, HVP is very low right now on the 4 hour. Well, it's 18. It's not that low, but it's contracting towards the downside. Let's take a look on the daily. No, daily is still contracting, but it's not that low. So very, very likely over the next 4 to 8 hours we'll be knowing something much more on that note. But yeah, like I said, hopefully we don't crash below this green box or close below this green box. Things would be very, very ugly and very, very, very bad. Then we will have to be forgetting about the long button and thinking about the short button. So yeah, let's see if we have to adjust and switch over into that phase. But like I said, as long as the traditional markets, Dixie down and everything, and I mean, yeah, I still my bias is still towards the upside until this breaks, until the EMA 21 on the daily closes breaks. Then yeah, then there's no choice. Then we will have to adjust towards shorting. All right, guys. Whew. Hope to see you again tomorrow, same time, 7:30 p.m. UTC +8. Please like, share, comment, and do whatever you want with this channel. And until tomorrow,